Hello and welcome back to our day 3 of our React Native with Expo series. Today we'll dive into the core building blocks of any React Native app: view, text, image, and touchable opacity. These are the essential components that form the structure, display, image, and make your app interactive. So first let's start by view. Before going to coding stuff, let me run the Expo server mpx expo start. Now my app is running in my phone. So first let's start by a view and a text. Basically view is a container that contain the other components like view, image and etc. If you know the HTML, then you can relate with a div. And this is a text component which used to display text on the screen. Inside of the text component, I written hello world. And in my app also, we can see is written hello world. So let's type something hello from inside of a view, something like this. You can see it's changed the text in my phone also. In the bottom, we have a style sheet. What is a style sheet? Style sheet is basically a CSS of our app. If you're familiar with HTML and CSS, then you know we use CSS to style our website. Just like same, we are using our style sheet to give styling to our application. So let's see, we use one const styles. This is just a variable name. We import style sheet from React Native. Style sheet.create. This create a style sheet, basically a CSS for our application. And inside of this, in a parenthesis and then one curly braces. Inside the curly braces, we can write our whole CSS for our application. In CSS, we are targeting the each component by giving any ID or class. So here we are targeting the main view. We give one container styling to this view. We can give all the properties and then we can design the whole view according to our app. Here we use style, which is a prop of every component we need to give style. Is equal to, in a curly braces, we give something styles.container. What is styles.container means? Styles, which is a style sheet, and then dot container. Inside of this style, we have one container. We are assigning that property to the view. I hope this is clear. And then second, we have a text. What is a text? Text is basically to display any text on the screen. Just like now, we type hello from inside of a view. It is displaying on our phone. So I hope these two things is clear. For now, we are just leaving this styles. We will talk about this later. Now let's talk about the second component, which is a image. Image components used to display image either from a web through a URL or by a local image from our assets folder. Let's take a look how we can load an image in our app. First, we need to import a image from React Native, and then we need to come here and I use image, and inside of this image we need to give one prop. Props mean basically property. We need to give one property named source. What is the source of the image? We need to put URL, or if it is a locally, then we have to put path. For now, I just want to show it through a URL. So in a curly braces, we need to use another curly braces, and then here need to give one more prop, which is URI. Into the URI, we need to give the path of the image. So I'm going to my browser and I take some kind of image like this cat. The one is stylish cat. I copy the image address and then inside of this quotes I put the URL and then Control S. Now we are not able to see any kind of image, right? So basically why? Because we didn't give any kind of styling like height and width. So we need to define this. How we can define? First we need to give outside of this curly braces and then type style. As I mentioned before, style is a property of every components in React Native. Style is equal to, and in the curly braces we need to give the style name. So styles dot styles dot image. Basically I give one name image to this styling. Here we need to target that image to give the styling. How I give that styling? I go the bottom of the container after this comma, then I write the name we given here like styles.image. So I type image, and inside of this image in a object format we can give is styling like height, width, color, border radius, whatever we want to give we can give here. So let's type by width something give like 200, and then height also I want to give 200, and let's see. Amazing, right? Now it's displaying the image. Perfect. Now let's give something to make round a border radius. Border radius to something like 50. So make it circular. I hope this clear. First we import image and then we use this image here inside of the view. Give one prop which is source. Inside of the source we give one more prop which is URI. On this URI we give the path of this image which is a URL, and in the last we give one styling. I hope this clear. In the styling we give one height and width and one border radius for look better. I hope this thing is clear. This is how we can load an image through a URL. But what if you don't want to use any image from a URL? If you have any static image and you want to use this static image to display, which is also so easy. First I am just remove this image and just to control S. Now my image is just vanished. So I'm going to give it again, like I'm going to call it again, sorry, not here, image, and inside the image I give again one source. And now in the source, in the previous one we are giving some URI to display the image, but if you are using a static image, so you need to give a require, require. Require. After the require we need to give one parenthesis. In the parenthesis, in the single quotes or double quote, we need to give the path of the image. Dot slash I have one assets. In the assets I have one image dot jpg, which is this image. I need to show you image dot jpg, which is the same cat, stylish cat. Okay, I just do Control S, and yes, here we go. And here we have another cat, but this is a locally image which we are using to display. So let me make it a little bit smaller, something like this. Oh, sorry, I didn't give that styling. That is why this is showing so big. So for the styling again, do the same. Style is equal to, in the curly braces, styles dot image. That's it. Oh, so make it 200. Now we have the same result again, but that one was through a URL, but this is one a static image. I hope this is clear how we can display an image from a URL or a static image. So after this image, let's move to our third component, which is a touchable opacity. Basically, touchable opacity we use to make anything interactive. Like we have buttons or maybe you want some kind of label which is interactive. After clicking on this, something happened. For making event, we can use touchable opacity to make things interactive. I hope you're able to get it. First, let me remove the image, and instead of image, I am going to import touchable opacity. And here I am just import touchable. I am just use touchable opacity, and inside of this touchable opacity, we need to give one text. Why we are using text, I'll explain. Just type it text and just say hello. Okay, sorry, I just removed the text. We need to import the text also. Okay, fine, great. Okay, now we have one text, but what's so special, right? Now the text is interactive. You can see when I'm clicking on this, it just changes color, right? So what is this happening? We make that text interact. Now we can click that text and we can make any event which happen after clicking on this, right? So let's give some styling, make it look good. So I just type style is equal to styles dot the button container. Basically this is work as a button container which wrap that text into one box and make it interactive, make it touchable. Okay, and for the text also I want to give some style. Okay, for text just leave it for now. Okay, just call the button. Okay, button container. We give the styling same just like we give previously. Okay, and just give some color like background color, green. I just give any random. Now you can see one green color box is there. Inside of this box we have the text. I hope now you are clear what the touchable opacity exactly is. So we need to give some padding padding horizontally maybe 20, and padding vertically skew is to 10. I just give some styling to make it look good. The radius to something like 10. Okay, now we have one button which is clickable. We need to add some event. After clicking of this button, something will happen. We need to make a function which run when we click on this button. So first let's make this function like const. We are going to use an arrow function. In the desiccant, I told you in the React Native we are going to use a arrow function, right? So here we are also going to use an arrow function, const click, and here I make one arrow function and just simply type const log and click. Right, now we need to call that function on this click. For this there is one prop called onPress. In the onPress we need to give this function name. Sorry, not this. Okay, now when I'm clicking this button, click print on the console. It means that function is working. Let's make something else which look on the display like alert. There is something called alert to show any kind of alert in a React Native application. Alert like clicked. When I click this button, one alert will show on the screen. Let's check it this out. See, one alert which is saying clicked. Whichever we give inside of this quotes will show on the display. I hope this is clear. So today we discuss about what is a view, what is a text, what is a touchable opacity, and how we can do the styling in our application. We just do very basic styling. So with the use of this, we can make some complex design also. So let's wrap up today's session. Now we got a solid understanding of key components like view, text, image, and touchable opacity. These are the building blocks you use frequently in React Native to create layouts, display content, and adding interactive, less like using touchable opacity. In the next session, we will dive deeper into more advanced components. Thanks for joining, and I see you in the next one.